Growing up in the 1960s was a completely different world. Kids had freedoms that would make modern parents gasp in horror. From dangerous playground equipment to zero adult supervision, children of the 60s lived lives that seem almost unbelievable today. Let's take a journey back to discover 50 dangerous freedoms every 1960s kid had that would absolutely shock parents in 2026. How many do you remember? Number one, riding bikes without helmets. Every kid in the 1960s rode their bike without a helmet. It simply wasn't a thing. You'd race down hills at full speed, do tricks, and jump off homemade ramps with nothing but the wind in your hair. Today, parents would consider this reckless endangerment. Do you remember the feeling of that freedom? Number two, playing outside until the streetlights came on. There were no cell phones, no GPS trackers. Just a simple rule: be home when the streetlights turn on. Kids would roam the neighborhood for hours, exploring vacant lots, building forts, and creating adventures without a single adult in sight. Can you imagine letting your child do that today? Number three, drinking straight from the garden hose. When you got thirsty playing outside, you didn't run inside for filtered water. You drank straight from the garden hose, warm, rubber-tasting water and all. Nobody worried about bacteria or contaminants. It was just what you did. Does that warm hose water taste bring back memories? Number four, walking to school alone in first grade. 6-year-olds walk to school by themselves, sometimes crossing busy streets without crossing guards. Parents trusted that kids would look both ways and make it safely. Today, that would probably result in a call to Child Protective Services. Were you one of those first graders walking alone? Number five, riding in the back of pickup trucks. On warm summer days, kids piled into the bed of pickup trucks for rides around town. No seatbelts, no car seats, just wind in your face and holding on tight around corners. It was the definition of freedom, and terrifying by today's standards. Do you remember clutching the side rails? Number six, playing with lawn darts. Lawn darts, heavy, sharp metal projectiles thrown high into the air. Kids played this game at family barbecues and backyard parties without a second thought. They were eventually banned in 1988 after countless injuries. Can you believe we actually aimed these at targets near people? Number seven, building forts in vacant lots. Empty lots were adventure playgrounds. Kids would gather scrap wood, old tires, and discarded materials to build elaborate forts. No adult supervised, no permits required. Just pure imagination and teamwork. Do you remember the smell of old wood and dirt? Number eight, climbing trees with no adult supervision. Climbing as high as you could go in the tallest tree was a badge of honor. No helmets, no safety harnesses. Just scraped knees and the occasional fall. Parents knew kids were in trees somewhere, and that was fine. How high did you climb? Number nine, playing on scorching hot metal playground equipment. Playgrounds had metal slides that burned your legs in summer heat and steel monkey bars over concrete or dirt. Kids learned quickly to test the slide with their hand first, or not, and just endured the burns. Today's rubber surfaces and plastic equipment seem almost boring in comparison. Do you remember those metal burns? Number 10, no car seats or seat belts. Babies sat in their mother's lap in the front seat. Older kids bounced around the back seat freely, sometimes even standing up or lying in the rear window shelf. Seat belts existed, but were rarely used. The idea of a car seat for every child would have seemed absurd. Where did you sit on long car trips? Number 11, eating TV dinners on metal trays. Swanson TV dinners, turkey, mashed potatoes, corn, and a brownie, all in separate aluminum compartments heated in the oven. Families would eat in front of the television on metal folding tray tables. It was the height of modern convenience. Do you remember burning your fingers on that foil? Number 12. Adjusting the TV antenna on the roof. When TV reception got fuzzy, someone had to climb onto the roof and adjust the antenna while someone else yelled directions from inside. Turn it left. No, the other left. Hold it right there. It was a family team effort. Were you the roof climber or the yeller? Number 13. Sharing one bathroom for the entire family. Most homes had just one bathroom for the whole family, sometimes 6 or 7 people. Morning routines required military precision and patience. No one complained. It was just how it was. Can you imagine today's families managing with one bathroom? Number 14. Using party line telephones. Phone lines were often shared with neighbors. Pick up the phone and you might hear Mrs. Henderson gossiping with her sister. You had to wait your turn to make a call, and privacy was non-existent. The concept is almost unimaginable today. Did you ever listen in on someone else's conversation? Number 15. No air conditioning in scorching summer. Most homes didn't have air conditioning. You survived summer heat with fans, open windows, and sleeping on the porch. Nights were spent sweating through sheets, and nobody complained. It was just summer. Do you remember those hot, sticky nights? Number 16. Hanging laundry on clotheslines. Every home had a clothesline in the backyard. Mothers would pin wet clothes and sheets to the line, and they'd dry in the sun, smelling fresh and crisp. Dryers were a luxury many families didn't have. Do you remember the smell of sun-dried sheets? Number 17. Milk delivered in glass bottles. The milkman delivered fresh milk in glass bottles right to your doorstep early in the morning. You'd leave the empties out for pickup and find fresh milk waiting. Cream rose to the top, and you'd shake the bottle to mix it. Can you still hear the clink of those glass bottles? Number 18. Chasing the ice cream truck down the street. The sound of the ice cream truck's bells sent kids running from every yard, clutching quarters. You'd chase it down the block if you had to. Orange push-ups, bomb pops, and ice cream sandwiches for 25 cents. Do you remember your favorite ice cream truck treat? Number 19. Welcoming door-to-door salesmen inside. Salesmen came right to your door selling vacuum cleaners, encyclopedias, and Tupperware. Parents would invite them inside, offer coffee, and listen to full sales pitches. Today, we don't even answer the door for strangers. Did your mom ever buy from the Avon lady? Number 20. Leaving doors unlocked all day. Front doors stayed unlocked all day, sometimes even at night. Neighbors walked in calling, "You who? Anybody home?" without knocking. The concept of home security systems didn't exist for most families. When did your family start locking the door? These memories take us back to a simpler time, don't they? If you're enjoying this trip down memory lane, hit that subscribe button. We've got 30 more fascinating freedoms coming up. Which one has surprised you the most so far? Let us know in the comments. Number 21. Corporal punishment at school. Teachers and principals used wooden paddles for discipline. Acting up in class could earn you swats in the principal's office, and your parents would support it. Nobody questioned the practice. It was considered normal and necessary. Do you remember the sound of that paddle? Number 22. Inkwells in school desks. Older schools still had desks with built-in inkwells from fountain pen days. Kids would dip pens carefully, inevitably spilling ink and staining fingers blue. By the 60s, ballpoint pens were common, but those inkwells remained. Did you ever spill ink all over your desk? Number 23. Duck and cover drills. The threat of nuclear war was real. Students practiced duck and cover drills, hiding under desks or in hallways, hands over heads, as if that would protect them from an atomic bomb. The fear was genuine and terrifying. Do you remember those alarm bells? Number 24. Drinking from communal water fountains. School hallways had water fountains where hundreds of kids drank every day. Everyone put their mouth directly on the spout. Nobody thought about germs or viruses. You just drank and moved on. Would you let your child do that today? Number 25. Walking home for lunch. Many kids walked home for lunch every day. Mom had a hot meal ready. Soup, sandwiches, maybe leftovers. Then you walked back to school. The whole trip took under an hour. Can you imagine schools allowing this now? Number 26. No security guards or metal detectors. Schools had open campuses. Anyone could walk in freely. There were no security guards, no ID badges, no locked doors. The idea that schools would need armed security would have seemed dystopian. When did your school get its first security measures? Number 27. Smoking areas for teachers. Teachers smoked in designated lounges, and sometimes even in classrooms after hours. High schools often had smoking areas for students too, usually seniors with parental permission. The smell of cigarette smoke was just part of school. Did your favorite teacher smoke? Number 28. Gendered classes. Shop versus home economics. Boys took shop class, learning woodworking, metalwork, and auto repair. Girls took home economics, learning cooking, sewing, and childcare. The classes were strictly divided by gender, and nobody questioned it. Which class did you take last? Number 29. Standing for the Pledge of Allegiance every morning, every school day began the same way. Standing, hand over heart, reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. It was mandatory and unquestioned. Not participating would have been unthinkable. Do you still remember every word? Number 30. Spelling bees and mandatory cursive writing. Spelling bees were major school events, and cursive handwriting was mandatory. You practiced loops and swirls for hours until your penmanship was perfect. Today, many schools don't even teach cursive. Can you still write in cursive? Number 31. Playing marbles for keeps. Kids gathered in circles, shooting marbles with serious skill. When you played for keeps, you lost your marbles if you missed. Literally. Playground marble games had real stakes and genuine competition. Do you still have your favorite marble? Number 32. Trading baseball cards. Baseball cards came with flat sticks of pink bubble gum. Kids traded them obsessively, learning stats and values. Some cards, like a 1960s Mickey Mantle, could be worth a fortune today, if you hadn't clipped them to your bike spokes. Did you destroy any valuable cards? Number 33. Making go-karts from scrap wood. Kids built go-karts out of old lumber, lawnmower wheels, and rope for steering. You'd push them to the top of the biggest hill and ride them down at terrifying speeds with no brakes. Crashes were frequent and badges of honor. Did you ever build one? Number 34. Playing with realistic cap guns. Cap guns looked and sounded almost real. Kids ran around neighborhoods playing cowboys and robbers, firing caps that smelled like gunpowder. Today, a realistic toy gun would cause a neighborhood panic. What was your favorite cap gun? Number 35. Building models with toxic glue. Model airplanes and cars required glue that smelled strong and probably contained dangerous chemicals. Kids sat in their rooms for hours, inhaling fumes while carefully assembling tiny plastic parts. Nobody wore masks or worried about ventilation. Do you remember that smell? Number 36. Comic books for 10 cents. You could buy the latest Superman, Batman, or Archie comic for just a dime. Kids collected them, traded them, and read them until pages fell out. Some of those 10-cent comics are worth thousands today. Which comics did you collect? Number 37. Entire families at drive-in movies. Drive-in theaters were family entertainment. Parents would pack kids in pajamas into the car, grab burgers and popcorn, and watch double features under the stars. Kids played on playground equipment near the screen until dark. Do you remember falling asleep in the back seat? Number 38. Saturday morning cartoons only. Cartoons aired only on Saturday mornings from about 7 a.m. to noon. Kids woke up early, poured bowls of sugary cereal, and sat inches from the TV for hours. Missing Saturday cartoons meant waiting a whole week. What was your favorite Saturday morning show? Favorite. Number 39. Only 3 TV channels. Most families received 3, maybe 4 TV channels. If you didn't like what was on, too bad. You watched it anyway, or turned off the TV. The concept of hundreds of channels would have seemed like science fiction. Which channel did your family watch most? Number 40. Radio shows and dramas before bedtime. Before bedtime, families gathered around the radio to listen to shows and dramas. Programs like Mystery Theaters and Comedy Hours filled living rooms with imagination and sound. Television was taking over, but radio still had magic. Do you remember any favorite radio programs? Number 41, paper routes at age 10. 10-year-olds delivered newspapers every morning before school. They'd wake at 5 a.m., fold papers, load their bike baskets, and ride through dark neighborhoods delivering news. It taught responsibility and earned a few dollars a week. Did you have a paper route? Did you have Number 42, mowing neighbors' lawns for quarters. Kids went door to door offering to mow lawns for $1 or $2. Neighbors handed you a push mower. No fancy electric or riding mowers, and you pushed it across large yards in summer heat. A few bucks felt like a fortune. How much did you charge? Number 43. Babysitting siblings at 12 years old. A 12-year-old was considered plenty old enough to babysit younger siblings for hours, even overnight. You'd make meals, handle bedtime, and manage any problems alone. Today, many states have minimum age laws for babysitting. Were you the family babysitter? Number 44. Helping dad fix the car. Families often fix their own cars. Kids handed tools to dad, learned engine parts, and got covered in grease. Cars were simpler then, and repairs were a regular weekend activity. Do you remember the smell of motor oil? Number 45. Canning vegetables with mom. Late summer meant canning season. Mothers and children spent hot days sterilizing jars, boiling vegetables, and preserving food for winter. Rows of colorful jars lined basement shelves. It was exhausting work, but necessary. Did you help can tomatoes or pickles? Number 46. Collecting bottles for deposit money. Glass bottles had 2-cent deposits. Kids scoured roadsides, parks, and trash cans collecting bottles to return for cash. A bag full of bottles meant enough for candy or comic books. Do you remember hauling bags of bottles to the store? Number 47. Shoveling snow for cash. After snowstorms, kids grabbed shovels and knocked on doors offering to clear driveways and sidewalks. A few houses could earn several dollars. Serious money for a kid. Today, snow blowers and plow services handle most of it. How many driveways could you shovel in a day? Number 48. Running errands for elderly neighbors. Kids regularly ran errands for older neighbors, fetching groceries, picking up prescriptions, or mailing letters. Neighbors paid with quarters or fresh-baked cookies. It built community and taught responsibility. Do you remember a favorite elderly neighbor? Number 49. Doing dishes by hand every night. Dishwashers were rare luxuries. Every night one kid washed while another dried, standing at the sink for what felt like hours. Hands turned pruny, and there was always fighting over whose turn it was. Did you wash or dry? Number 50. Making your bed with hospital corners. Every morning, beds had to be made perfectly with tight hospital corners. Parents inspected. Sloppy beds meant remaking them. It taught discipline and attention to detail. Even if you just messed it up again at night, can you still make hospital corners? These 50 dangerous freedoms show just how much childhood has changed. Some changes made kids safer. Others took away the independence and resilience that shaped an entire generation. Which of these freedoms do you miss the most? Drop a comment below and share your memories. If you enjoyed this trip back to the 1960s, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. We've got more fascinating history coming your way. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.